Because it's actually once in a lifetime opportunity. Who
Why?
who is doing this?
Hmm.
Let's think
Don't
about it. Don't
overthink.
overthink anything. I've been with people who are really successful, and I came to understand that they are not different from me. You
Hmm.
understand? They just take action, finish. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Hitmakerz Club podcast. In this episode, we are going to be diving straight into the business side of music. We are here to bring real conversations that most people would be scared to have. Today, we have a very important guest, someone who is special. She's not just any type of lawyer. I like to think of her as the type of lawyer that artists call when they sign bad deals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Janet.
Nice to meet you guys.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
So today we are going to be talking about publishing,
Mm-hmm.
360 deals, masters,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I hope you're ready
Yeah,
to
yeah.
spill the tea.
Yes, I
What
am.
inspired you to be a lawyer? Was it SAPA related, or was it pushed on, by your family, or it's something you've always wanted to do?
Well, let's just say, our parents really like the fact that their children or their ward should like do professional courses,
Like lawyers and
law,
doctors.
medicine,
Mm-hmm.
law, engineering,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how I find myself quickly.
Okay, so it was imposed onto you by.
Influence, I rather use the word influenced by my parents, not
Okay,
imposed.
okay, so but at some point you started loving the course.
Well, I don't think there was any time where I actually loved law,
For
but
you?
I think that's why I went into entertainment law because I'm more of a creative person
Okay.
than a legal person. So entertainment law just like passes the vibe. So I decided to go into entertainment law.
So when did you think that entertainment law was going to be your thing? At what
Well,
point in your life? Was it in school or
yeah, it was after I was done with law school at 37, and I was actually at home looking for a job. I couldn't get a job, and so there was one time this artist came on Twitter to call out his former label boss that they cheated him. They are holding on to his masters. They've not paid him royalties and all of that. I'm like, okay, maybe this is something I should just go into.
okay? So did you read up about entertainment? How is the
Yeah.
structure of entertainment law in Nigeria? Because the other day, yeah, with the recent law school, the call to bar,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Kaid the artist. He was making a congratulatory message to the young graduates,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a lot of people should, venture. A lot of these graduates should
Should consider
venture
entertainment
into,
law.
yeah. So like, is there any specific? How do you guys get into it? Because I don't know if there's a thing like in Nigeria, or I don't know for how long it has been. So
Well, in Unilag, sorry, I went to Unilag actually.
okay.
So, but in several universities in Nigeria that offers law as a course,
Mhm.
there is no course or elective course such as music law or entertainment law or sports law or tech law. So these are like specialized areas of laws that are not actually so developed in our Nigerian curriculum in the universities. Even in law school, you are being taught to be a barrister and solicitor.
Mhm.
So it means you can go to court and also represent clients without having to go to court or litigation. So those are not the kind of specialized areas of law that are taught in our schools. So as an entertainment lawyer, you have to basically do things on your own. You have to do the learning on your own. You have to
Okay.
go on Google to research.
Oh, real?
if you are lucky to like get a law firm who can take you in and teach you the rudiments of entertainment law, you're very lucky. But so many entertainment lawyers in Nigeria had to learn everything on their own. Well, as for me, I had to learn music publishing on my own
Okay.
by practical and theory, did a lot of research, and also when clients bring cases to me and I learn from what I do, like the
Uh-huh.
practical areas, as I'm
Uh-huh.
able to like understand music publishing and even had to write a course on music publishing. And so this is to talk about my training program. So like so many people come into my DM, my LinkedIn, my Instagram that, oh, I would like to mentor me. I'm interested in entertainment law. I'm like, okay then. So since everybody is saying they want to like learn, why not just do something? This is a problem. Why not just do my part by solving a problem? So I started a training program for court bar aspirants, law undergraduates, for lawyers who are interested in entertainment law, don't know how to go about it, don't know where to start from. And so I had to start that. I started that training like this year, May.
Okay.
And so I've trained about 10 students so far,
Oh, wow.
which is like actually a very good thing
Mm-hmm.
because this is like my first attempt at doing this, and I
Yeah.
hope there are more students as I go by. So basically, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm getting now is that there is money in internet.
Well, there is money everywhere, but it depends on how you package yourself.
So entertainment law
Mm-hmm.
as against maybe going to the court, because I have friends who are lawyers, they hate going to the court.
Yeah, now, well, because going to court is like less profitable than being a solicitor who drafts agreements. So, like for example, now a client can say they want you to write a letter for them and you charge them 500K for a lawyer that you, for a letter that you be paying like 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So going to court involves so many processes. You have to draft processes, go to court, all of that. So like when you think of the time and the energy you put into going to court, preparing documents that you present in court, it's not as profitable as when you just stay in your office under the AC, draft agreements,
Yeah.
charge whatever you want to charge. And there is always a market for every lawyer. No matter how expensive they say a lawyer is and all, there is always a market for that kind of lawyer. So I
Okay,
don't think
okay.
any lawyer is too expensive.
Talking about how expensive. Yeah, we know that lots of artists in Nigeria
Mm-hmm,
are mostly independent,
mm-hmm,
right? So when we are talking about law
mm-hmm,
and music,
mm-hmm.
for someone who is independent, yeah, independent can also mean it's almost the same thing as broke. I'm sorry that I'm using this, right? But most independent artists, or let me say, they don't have a budget. So, how, where do you come in as a lawyer? You know,
Mm, well, this is a very controversial take for me,
mm-hmm,
but I don't think any independent artist is broke or can't afford a lawyer because I see the amount they put into promotions, into
mm-hmm.
marketing their songs. I'm seeing 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, and
But
you want to tell me you
those
don't have the budget
those
for a
are
lawyer?
the ones at
No,
the
even
top. Oh.
independent artists, I see their budget, their marketing budget for just a song, not a project. I'm seeing 2 million, 5 million, 10 million.
What if you are working with the rich ones? I'm
The
talking
rich
about
one,
the trenches kids
the
like me.
trenches kids,
Yeah,
like the rich ones.
like the trenches
They also
independent
have the money.
artists.
They have the money for marketing. They
I don't
pay. They
believe
if
you.
they want to distribute their song on DistroKid. I know United Masters collects $50 thereabouts to
25K
distribute.
a
No,
year.
a year. No,
Yes.
no. Like there's another package, fifty
Okay.
k.
Okay.
So they have that money to pay per year. They have that money to
Ah,
put for
boy,
marketing.
come
But
on.
I don't believe because if they want, because I'm very sure that if a marketer comes to them today that, oh, that okay, this is your song, I can help you do stream farming on this song. People would, I can help you get boats that would be like streaming those songs that I just need this particular amount of money. I'm very sure that artists will bring out that money because they want to
Okay.
blow.
Okay. So,
So I think it's a matter of, oh, why should I pay this lawyer this amount to protect my interest when I'm not getting
mm,
something back from that lawyer? So
okay.
that's why me as a legal person, I just don't
Okay.
do law. I do
Mm-hmm.
music publishing.
Okay.
And I tell people that, okay, come and set up your publishing with me
Mm-hmm.
and you get your royalties in return. It's just a one-time fee. You're not signing agreements. You're collecting your royalties directly into your account. and they are willing to pay that money because they are getting their money back even more than how much you are paying for the
Okay,
setup.
okay,
So,
fine. Talking about publishing,
mhm.
this is something that even me as a producer, you know, I had to take that extra step. It's not something that is well known
Mhm.
in the music industry scene. So I want to ask how important, because we were talking about, if a marketer or a promoter, approaches some of these guys, that money will come out. So you're trying to tell me it's a priority thing. So if they take law, having a lawyer as a priority, then they can afford it. That's what I'm getting.
Yes, because they have the marketing budget, but they
Okay.
don't always have the legal budget.
So how important is it for these guys to understand what is music publishing? Let's start from there, right? And how important is it for artists to understand music publishing?
Okay, so music publishing basically is just the management and administration of your musical compositions, like
Mm-hmm.
how you make money with your musical compositions, how you make sure you're getting paid from the use and exploitation of your musical compositions. And your musical compositions are like your beats, your lyrics, your melody, and all that. So if there's a particular song
Mm-hmm.
you worked on the beats, you worked on the lyrics, you worked on the melody.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, music publishing is basically how to retrieve your money from when that song is being streamed or used by people.
Why
That's it.
why do artists need a lawyer?
Why do
Yeah,
artists need a lawyer?
yeah.
So, did you hear what happened between Kiss Daniel and his former record label? Did you
Okay.
hear about the Charlie Poppy issue with Dapper? So I
Talk
don't
to us
think I have
about
to
it.
like explain. So I think those scenarios are like teaching moments for you as an artist. So if in this 2025, after you've seen what these artists have gone through, like
Mm-hmm.
even some even admitting that they didn't even get a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
they just signed because they are throwing like a big amount of money as an advance to them. So I don't think I need to start explaining to anybody why you need a lawyer.
So
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 these are enough teaching moments for artists
okay,
to
so
get a
what
lawyer.
I'm getting here is a lawyer is a must. If you must do
Well,
this,
a
you
lawyer
need a
is not a
lawyer.
must, but
Okay.
you can always decide later as you progress whether you actually need a lawyer on your team or not. I can't, well, I feel like people learn. You can learn before making mistakes or learn after getting the consequences of your mistakes. So I won't say a lawyer is a must. I would, well,
Whiskey said they know they pay to learn lesson.
so I won't say a lawyer is a must, but try and do some things without using a lawyer and let's see how it goes. So maybe then you can make your conclusion whether a lawyer is a must or not.
Okay, so let's leave this aspect. Let's talk about deals,
Mm-hmm,
right? There are so many deals,
mm-hmm,
yeah, because you were talking about the Kiss Daniel issue. You were
mm-hmm,
also talking about the case with Shad Poppy.
mm-hmm.
We see this all the time. There was a time Tiwa Savage came out and she was like, if people only knew what they go through. There was a time like that. So that's also about deals and all. So can you briefly, in a nutshell, can you tell us the types of deals we have in this music industry?
Yeah, is it like recording
Yeah,
deals?
recording
Yeah, there
deals.
are several types of recording deals. There is the music distribution is a kind of deal. There's
Okay.
masters licensing. There is 360. There is exclusive recording deals.
Mm-hmm.
There's development deals. There's
So
production
which
deals.
type of deals do you think or what type of deal is the most common
Yeah,
in Nigeria among artists?
360 and distribution deals. Those are like the most common.
So I was going through your page, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you talked a lot about 360 deals.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us what is a 360 deal? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so basically, 360 deal is just an agreement you get into with a music company, a label,
Mm-hmm.
where they are planning, they agree to like invest in your music, they
Mm-hmm.
give you an advance, recording budget, marketing budget, and even personal advances in
Okay.
exchange for, well, I won't really say in exchange for masters because the law already says that he who pays for the masters owns the masters.
I said
So,
that in my previous.
so
Yeah.
I won't really say they are doing all that investment in exchange for your masters, because the masters does not even belong to you, the artist, in the first place.
Okay.
It belongs to the person that paid for the
The
masters.
session.
So
Yeah.
they invest in you. They invest in you, not, let's just put the masters aside, because they already own the masters by investing in you. And basically, so in return, how they get the return of their investment, so they take a share, they take a portion of every income you make from your career as an artist.
So if my dad gives me 5,000,
Mm-hmm.
they own a percentage of it. Is
No,
that
no, 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 from your career as an artist.
from my career?
Career as
Okay.
an
So so
artist.
so cool. So assuming I was or I were an artist, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and my village people are doing something,
Mm-hmm.
I don't intend to charge them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I go home to the village.
Mm-hmm.
So are you trying to tell me that God bless you I will receive, my label has a part in it? I
So,
remember I didn't charge them. This is a village something. I'm just like using the lowest of the lowest example,
mm-hmm.
right? But yes, thank you for coming, right? So
But is that thank you for coming? Was it because you performed at?
thank you for coming,
Was it because you performed for coming and
I'm
performing?
yes
So
now.
that's
I
like
didn't
an
just come
income.
to eat.
That's like an income from your career as an artist, as a performer.
So they own a percentage of that. Thank
Yes,
you for
now.
coming.
Yes, if it was a different thing if you didn't perform and you just went there as a guest and they gave you thanks for coming money. But you performed and they were like, oh, we really love your performances and all that. Okay, take this thing for performing for us. I would consider that as an income, because that's a contribution to furnish.
Okay, I want to ask something.
Mhm.
When you sign this type of deals, do they assign a manager to you, or
Well,
because someone has to tell them that you received a thank you for coming, which obviously you will not be the person. Your dad is not going to snitch on you,
mm-hmm.
right? Or your village people, like I said. So how do they actually know your every move?
Yeah, so the thing is that for 360 deals,
Mm-hmm.
they are also going to be your exclusive manager. So they'll always appoint someone that works for the music company that would be your manager, maybe a road manager, a talent manager, a business manager that will be going with you everywhere and all. So for this kind of
Okay.
360 days, it should be in the agreement that would be your exclusive managers during the term. So I know that for exclusive traditional deals,
Mm-hmm.
where they're only getting an income from the masters, if
Mm-hmm.
you go and perform for someone, it's none of their business, because in the agreement you would have said that they're only getting an
Yeah.
income from your masters.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's basically it.
Okay. Let's settle this. Yeah. Talking about deals. In your own opinion, assuming your brother was supposed, oh yeah, is presented with a deal, a 360 deal, would you advise him to sign that deal?
Mm, I would advise him to like sign a master's licensing or an exclusive
That's not
recording,
what I asked.
but
A
a
360 deal.
360
Yes,
deal.
would you advise your brother to sign a 360 deal as a lawyer?
No,
Why?
I don't know, but I don't. Well, although I feel like there is no bad deal as
Okay.
long as each parties agree to it and all of that. But for 360 deals, I don't think I would advise my brother to sign that kind of thing. But artists, you can't really tell an artist that,
Mm-hmm.
oh, don't sign this kind of
Mm-hmm.
deal.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when the label is saying, oh, they want to invest or they want to give him an advance of like 100 million naira.
Mm.
They will see you as village people or someone who is against their progress. So
Yeah.
you can't really tell them you can't sign it. You can just only try and negotiate better clauses or better
Okay,
deals for
okay, okay.
them.
So do you think that artists should sign their masters away?
There is no signing of masters away, because the law says who pays for the masters owns the masters. You don't understand.
Make me understand.
So, for example, the law says that the owner of a masters is the person by whom made the arrangements for the creation of the masters. So if the company is dropping money to create the masters, the law says they own the masters because
Okay.
they dropped the money for the arrangements.
Okay. So are you trying to tell me now that someone who booked a session with me, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're the one financing that project,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no contract in place? Are you telling me in the eyes of the law, automatically, you that is financing that project is the owner of that masters?
Well, they can also be financial arrangements and creative arrangements. So I can say you and the artist or you and the person financing that masters,
Mm-hmm.
you own the masters together. So that's why we're always advising artists to get a lawyer to draft to help them clear the masters from the producer.
Okay.
So in that agreement, it says that ownership of the masters would belong to the artist. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever ownership the producer thinks they have in the masters now belongs to the artist by signing that agreement. So
Hundred
without
percent.
a hand, so without that
Hundred
agreement,
percent.
yeah, yeah, 100% now. You signed yes now because they are paying for the masters. They paid you for studio session. They
So
paid you
so
for
so we had
producer fees.
are you trying to say because you paid me for a producer fee,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entitled to royalties on that master
No,
record?
yeah. Another thing is that people mistake ownership of masters to income sharing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
someone
Explain
might
that.
not
Mm-hmm.
own the masters,
Mm-hmm.
but they get a percentage from the masters royalties. So
Okay.
you don't have to own the masters before you can get a percentage from masters royalties.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So and also this
Mm-hmm.
kind of agreements also talks about work for hire. Like for example, now when you sign the agreement, they are basically telling us that that you did this work
Mm-hmm.
for the artist and this work belongs to the artist. That's basically what a work for hire is.
Okay. So would you agree that this whole legal thing here, I mean, the law is good. I love the law, right? But as a producer, um the whole legal thing, it just kills creativity. Yeah, there
Mm-hmm.
was a guy I worked with some months back. So I wasn't producing anything with him. Yeah, he came with his own beat. He just wanted to record and
Mm-hmm.
mixing and mastering stuff. And he just came with this huge contract. This one,
Well,
that
if he's
one, that
not
one.
employing your services as
A
his
producer.
producer,
You understand?
there's no need
Eh,
for a contract in the first
So
place.
some people are misinformed because I was trying to tell him that look, I'm just mixing and mastering this thing basically. That's like the major. I'm just recording you. Then I don't know who he has spoken with. You understand? So at some point it became very awkward. Even with I mean, it's just like me in a studio. With an artist, and you're bringing out a file for me to sign. You've killed my
The
morale.
vibe.
You understand? That's the issue I have with this whole legal, this one. So how are we gonna do it? Because from what I'm getting here, this is very important. It's very important to have this type of things in place. But how do you suggest? Because in one of your videos you were saying that it's not a must for 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 an
To
artist to
clear
clear
the
a
record
record
before
before
release.
releasing it. So I want you to dive into that because you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people erroneously believe that, oh, before you can release a record,
Mm-hmm.
it has to be cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would help a lot, but it's actually not compulsory as long as you've started conversations surrounding clearing the masters.
Okay.
But at the same time, if you as an artist you are clearing a song maybe like a week before release or after release.
Mm-hmm.
So now you don't have the upper hand again. Now the producer has the upper hand because if you're going to be clearing after the song is released
Mm-hmm.
and the producer is actually saying that, oh, they need $10,000 or I'll take down your song.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
see now that there is a shift in the power play.
Mm-hmm.
So the ball is now in the producer's court and he
Mm-hmm.
has more leverage than you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't usually advise that if you want to clear a song, clear it before release. Let everybody say what, because if it's before release now, the producer doesn't know whether that song will do well in the market
Yeah,
or not. So I
yeah.
think that's also
Mm-hmm.
part of what's happening to Tyler and the two composers that took her to court.
Okay.
Because if they had cleared the water song
Oh,
before release
okay.
and
So
they
those
already
people have
signed,
the upper hand
now
right
they have the
now.
upper hand because
Hmm.
they can actually one, they can see that, oh, this water song really did a lot of money. Like people are listening to water,
Yeah.
everybody is now a global song.
Mm-hmm.
And they came back like how many months later after the release to say, oh, we are
Almost one
taking,
year later.
oh, they are taking Tyler to court
Yeah.
because of that song. And that's because Tyler's management did not clear that song. So if everybody had signed agreements now and maybe they gave this one 5%,
Mm-hmm.
2%,
Mm-hmm.
they can't come back after now and say, oh, take her to court that, oh, it was not clear that they are not getting royalties.
Okay.
That's the end. The artist has the upper hand now. So now if the song now starts making wave or everywhere, and the producer has it has not been cleared with the producer and all of that, the producer can always ask for $200,000. That if you want this song to keep being on streaming platform, pay me this
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
and your hands are tied.
Okay.
Because yes, he has a lot of options. He has any more than option because you're already in infringement if you've
Mm-hmm.
not cleared that song.
Mm-hmm.
You're already infringing because you are using that song without, even though there's like there is in exclusive license
Mm-hmm.
to use that beat, but at the same time you need something concrete like an agreement to say that, oh yes, I actually have the permission, the exclusive permission to use
Okay.
the song.
Okay. Okay. So if an artist as big as Tyler
Hmm.
could make that, her management or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
could make that kind of error, I'm thinking like, is it that these artists
Well,
are, what is it that they don't understand this side of the, because I'm surprised.
Water.
You understand?
Tyler was not big before Water. It was Water that brought Tyler out
So
to
why
the
didn't these
limelight.
guys, once the song started, a song doesn't just blow
Yeah, maybe
overnight.
producers and people talk a lot. So maybe some people were putting ideas in those producers' head that, oh, can't you see how big Water is now? You're just going to let your
Okay, but
royalties go.
why didn't they clear the record after they've seen that? Because this thing happened like almost after 8 months of the song
Yeah,
being a
maybe they were
number
doing on the
in.
ground talks, but Tyler's management were like, oh, let's just ignore them, it's a pass. And they had to like go to court. So because if anybody goes to court, there'll be so many mediation, ADLs and conversations. So maybe there was no headway in the conversations and Tyler's management were not like label, was not trying
But
to
do you
like
think it's fair
say what's fair.
what these guys are
Well,
doing?
I don't believe there's any fair or unfair contracts. Fight for your head, fight for your money. That is what, as a lawyer, that's what I would advise you. So, like I always advise
Mhm.
lawyers to try and remove detached emotions from the business side. So, like for the part of refreshionary clause or getting your masters back. So, although
Yeah, let's
I
talk
agree,
about that.
yeah, I agree with my learned colleagues, but I feel like they are adding too much emotions to business side because the record label is pumping in a lot of money to break out these artists. They are
Okay.
pumping in 50 million. The recording budget can say 50 million, but at the end of the day, they are spending 500 million naira.
Mm-hmm.
And you, as a lawyer, you are saying that, oh, as an artist, you need to ask for your masters back when the label has not even gotten a fraction of that 500 million naira dispensed on that artist. So I feel like these discussions are sentimental. And once again, I don't like treating artists as victims. I
Okay.
like to see them as humans who
Mm-hmm.
know what they are doing. And I feel like people infantilize artists a lot. They'll be like, oh, artists are being cheated. Oh, artists are not being paid their dues. Oh, and I feel like people that say these things don't understand the music side of business
Okay.
because
Or the business side of
sorry,
music.
the business side of music.
Yeah.
Because if you see what these
Mm-hmm.
companies are pumping into an artist's career, if you see the money, if you see the work they are doing behind, I don't think anybody will be saying, "Oh, you need to ask for your masters back." Masters that was does not even belong to you from the start.
But on your page,
Mm-hmm.
you were talking about getting your masters back.
No, I never said.
Oh, okay.
I
I saw.
said
Okay.
I didn't really say get your masters
Okay.
back. I said how artists were able to get their masters back
Okay, sorry.
because there were like
Sorry.
two,
Okay.
like the recent copyright laws
Mm-hmm.
was enacted in 2022 and was
Okay.
passed into law in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
But the previous one says that the ownership of masters belongs to the artist in whose name the masters was made, except there is an express agreement that says otherwise.
Okay.
So then in the former Nigerian copyright laws,
Mm-hmm.
they says, okay, if an artist signs to a record label and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and there is an agreement, in that agreement, it will have said that the artist will transfer every right in the masters to the company. So the former copyright law is saying that the artist owns the masters. The artist in whose name that record was made owns the masters. But if there is an agreement between the artist and the company
Mm-hmm.
or the person financing the masters that says that this money I'm pumping into your music,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be the owner of the music,
Mm-hmm.
then it belongs to the company.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how reversionary rights can happen or transfer or getting your masters back because the masters originally belongs to you, the artists. But
Okay.
there was an agreement between
Okay.
you and the
Mm.
company that even though the law says the masters belongs to you as an artist,
Mm-hmm.
but you're giving it to me because in exchange for the money I spent on
Mm-hmm.
your music.
Okay.
So now the artist can go back. The artist, the original owner, the first ownership of the masters can always go back to the label that, okay, you already recouped your money.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get my masters back? Because I was the
Okay.
original owner of
Of
the
the masters.
masters.
Wow.
But
I
now,
didn't see it in that
so
way.
that's what
You
I'm trying to
understand?
explain to people
Okay.
with that video. Like, that's how
Yeah.
Burna Boy, I don't
Okay.
know if this was true, but they said Burna Boy got his masters back from
Aristocrat.
Aristocrat Records.
Okay.
Kizania got their masters back from G Worldwide.
Okay.
So these two artists signed their agreements under the old copyright law, which allows getting back your masters because in the former Nigerian copyright laws,
Mm-hmm.
the artist is the original owner of the masters, the
Okay.
first owner of the masters.
Mm-hmm.
What is this in Nigerian copyright law?
Mm-hmm.
The law says the ownership of the masters in the person who made the arrangement for the creation of that masters, which should be the record label
Mm-hmm.
that paid for the existence and creation of the masters. So there's no way you an artist can say you want to get back your
With
masters
this new.
in this new law because the law already says if you pay for the creation of these masters, you own the masters.
Even after, so with this new law, even after the label has made twice the money they
They still
invested,
own, they are the first owner of the masters. That's what the
is
law
that not
says. It's
wickedness?
not wickedness now. They paid for the masters, they paid for the recording, they paid for the studio session for artwork, they paid $10,000 to one producer to make
Okay,
one mad
because
ass
you
beat.
paid. Oh yeah,
No,
now
that is
let
what
me
you guys
change
are
my
not
surname now.
understanding.
You
It's just
understand?
like I went to the market.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is I went, okay, like maybe a photographer now. Okay, should I use the situation of a photographer? Or okay, like a tattoo artist now.
Okay.
A tattoo artist offers services to draw tattoos on people.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the tattoo artist, you pay the tattoo artist, or yeah, draw this on yourself. So can the tattoo artist come back later and say they want to collect their drawing back because it was their creative. Do you understand my point?
I will never
So that's
understand
what the law is saying
it.
because so
This
that's
new
what,
law now, yes,
mhm.
I'm finding
It's
it
even
very
all
difficult
over.
to
I
understand.
think it's even the same thing in the UK and the US that the owner of the sound recording is the person by whose arrangement by whom they made the arrangement of the masters. So it's not only in Nigeria, it's not like a new thing. That's always been the case. You understand? So what's you're trying to come in from the angle of performers' rights. Even though the record label
Mm-hmm.
owns the ownership of the masters,
Mm-hmm.
the artist still retains their performance rights. So even if the label is saying that okay, maybe the law already says,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm the owner of the masters, they cannot use that masters or use it to make money or release that masters until they get a performance right from the artist. That's the right
Okay.
of the company to exploit the performances
Of
of
the
the
song.
artists.
Okay.
So now, the way we are doing now,
Mm-hmm.
the way we are conversing, this is
Mm-hmm.
a performance.
All right.
So we have a performance right to the recording.
Okay.
So anybody, so like when you put this video up now, nobody has the right to reshare
Okay.
or to use it or make money from it, except they come to meet us to give them the performance rights
Yeah.
to do it, to reproduce, to copy, to distribute this video. So that's the same thing as an artist going to the studio to perform, to record. That is a performance on its own.
Okay.
So when the song is recorded, that's a reproduction of its performance rights. So the company will need to get a performance right from the artist to be able to release those songs. You understand? So that's the only way the artist is protected. Even though they didn't drop money to create the masters, but they still own the performance rights on those
Okay.
masters.
Okay. So this is this is an eye opener for me, because what I'm trying to get here, or what I've gotten so far, is there is no emotions in this
Business is
P.
business.
You understand? So for some of the artists watching, with this new, you said it's a new law,
Yeah, like it was passed in 2023, but
2022
23,
2023.
yeah.
If once you signed that deal, that's it, they own it forever. That's according to the Nigerian law. I want to ask, why do artists, why do artists, and let me sound like, why do artists make record deals sound evil when it's just business? Because you talked about everything fair, there's no emotions, the law doesn't have emotions. So why do these guys make 360 deals in particular? Even you yourself, you said you're not going to allow your brother to sign whatever, but why are you making it sound evil when it's business? Because some people also make something out of 360 deals, right? Because you're not even gonna be popular. eh, you have nothing without 360 deals, right? And you said it's the most popular, right? So in my opinion, I feel like you can also make something out of a 360 deal. So my question is, why do artists make this stuff sound evil when it is just business?
Well, so basically, I think, first of all, I don't really believe 360s are evil, but it's just what you make of it as an artist. Because if you're signed to a 360 deal, I think the mistakes most artists make is that, oh, they want to start making the money, or they feel like the 100 million naira advance the label is giving them, it belongs to them, it should be put in their accounts. But that advance doesn't mean it is free money.
Okay.
It's just a prepayment of royalties you get on your songs. So you're expected to like return it back to the label. So I feel like when you're signing a 360 deal, your first thinking shouldn't be money. Oh, I wonder if when would they start paying me my royalties? I think it should be how the record label plans to break you out. Because there are so many people that were signed to 360 deals labels, and after that they went on their own. See Adekule Gold, he was signed to YBNL.
Was
Now
it a
he's on his
360
own.
deal?
I'm not sure about the kind of deal.
Okay.
And now he went and broke out on his own. So without
Are you saying
YBNL,
that he didn't break out under YBN?
no, I said like after he was done with YBNL,
Okay. He
he's doing
also,
good
yeah,
now.
yeah,
See
yeah.
Ashake now. Without YBNL, would there be an Ashake?
No.
If you had gone to maybe do, oh, I don't want to sign a record label deal because it is evil, let me do independence and all of that, will it be as big as he is right now? See Ayostar, see Rema, if they were not signed to Maven, would they be as big as they are? And I feel like these artists are not thinking money first. They are thinking about the exposures first. What's the record label? Because the record label would pump a lot of money. They would do artist development. And I also heard that Maven has a school where before the breakout new artists, they train them for about 2 years as an artist. So that's why Ayasa is very good at that stage. She knows what to do to make people talk. She made short skirts like her own trademark because everybody started wearing short skirts because of Arya Star. They want to wear skirts as short as Arya Star. So you know that she wanted the exposure first and not the money first. But you know, in Nigeria, we are like the poverty capital of the world. Everybody's
Yeah.
thinking of how to make money, take advantage of everything. So an artist is thinking money first. Okay, what will I get from this? When will I start getting my royalties? The 100 million naira advance, they did not put this in my account. Oh, they didn't give me the advance. So I remember, I don't want to mention their name. I remember one artist then called us his former management company and said, "Oh, that's a UK company or US company gave maybe a $5,000 or $15,000 advance, and he only got 1.5 million naira out of it." I'm like, advance is not your money. It's not free money. Advance is not supposed to enter into your account now.
For real?
No, now, like, I don't want to mention their name, but they came and they said, "Oh, that's."
But wait, if a record label signs me, that advance is not my money.
It's not your money now. It's
Who's
a prepayment of future royalties.
So whose account?
No, it's a record label account. So there are like three categories of advance. There is a recording budget, there is a marketing budget, and there is a personal advance. So if they are saying that they are giving you 100 million naira advance, it doesn't mean they are giving you the whole 100 million naira to keep in your account.
Jesus.
So the money you might be getting for that 100 million naira can be 5 million naira. They can say 5 million naira is your personal
It's
advance.
a lie.
Or they can say they are giving you monthly
Hold on.
allowance of 500k.
You're trying to trigger me.
So that's what I'm saying. You need to remove emotions from the music business. We as lawyers, we know what is going on.
Hold on first. Hold on. You're telling me that if
that's where artists get it wrong. That is where artists get it wrong. And that's why they feel like record labels are evil. Because they don't understand the music business.
So you're telling me that the advance where will they pray for? Where will they fast for?
It's not entering your account. It's not entering your account.
Record labels are evil.
If you say so. No, now it's not entering. So it's not entering your account.
So from 100 million, you give me 5 million.
No, you don't understand.
That cannot
Wait,
buy
hold on.
Tokumbo.
You know some labels. Hold on. You know some labels. They can give you a monthly allowance. They can rent an apartment. No, hold on. So you know some record labels, they can give you a car. I know when she vibes, either issue with Dapper and everything. We were talking about, they gave him a car, they gave him an apartment and everything and all that. So that's part of their personal advances.
So they'll let all those things.
Why not? It was not what's in your name. Now, their apartment was not. So, I don't know. So, that's why I'm always saying that remove emotions from music business. Business is business at the end of the day.
So, what I'm trying to understand here is this. They give 100 million. They start mapping out things according to that budget.
So, they can be like maybe 50 million will be recording budget for 4 years. You understand? Like, record labels are like 4 years.
Sessions.
Yeah, 2 to 4 years. So they can even say they are giving a recording advance of 50 million naira. And at the end of the day, they are spending about 500 million naira over the course of that 4 years.
Okay.
You understand? So a lot of money goes into it's very capital intensive.
Can we talk about, because a lot of artists are watching, can we talk about that personal advance?
So the personal advance is
in
just...
the clause, is it stated, please, so out of this 100 million, you go carry 10 million. Hold yourself.
Yes, there are some contracts like that. They'll be like, okay, we are giving you a $50,000 advance, but to be giving you a $5,000 sign-on advance or personal advance. So that would be maybe if you need to get something, if you need to get an apartment.
Wow, I didn't know this.
All this. That's why artists are always. That's another reason why artists are always coming out to call their formal label out, because they feel like that advance.
I mean,
it's going to your. So you see the Charlie Poppy and Dapper case now. So another thing again, another reason why people feel like labels are evil again is that for advances, you're not going to be getting your royalties back until recoupment.
Okay.
Of all the advance.
Jesus.
And the way the recoupment is, I don't want to say this because now you'll start saying record labels are evil. No. But let me say it now.
Okay.
So maybe for example now, the contract says the royalty is 80-20.
Okay.
So 80 to the record label, 20 to the artist. So the recoupment is not done from the 80%, it's done from the 20%. Because record label needs to make their profits.
So it's from the 20%.
It's from the 20%. So you understand?
So it's
So that's why I say
it's important for people to really understand.
Yeah, so that's what I'm always saying. Remove emotions from the music business.
So
This
it's
is how
from
it
that
works.
20%.
They are going to be
So if
recording.
they've spent 500 million naira,
So
and your song, yeah, in a year, let's say your song in a year does 100 million, right? The recoupment
will be
is
from 20 million. So you need to make 20 million in 10 years, I'll be 12 years to get the 500 million recoupment back.
So that's fair to you.
Yeah, there's no fee on unfair contracts.
Does that make sense to you? Like, forget
Business
that you're a
is
lawyer.
business.
Does it make sense to you?
Business is business. Because you're talking from the point of, the artist is made and is making a lot of money. So what of the other artists that didn't even make as much as $1,000 in 1 year, and the record label spent about 100 million naira on the artists? So are we going to say they are also evil, or the artist is evil for not being?
I mean, yeah.
For not making the money back from the record label. So there has to be an equilibrium. So that's why I said there is no fee on unfair contracts, and remove emotions from this music business. Because business is business. Because everybody focus on, Charlie Poppy, Asake made too much money, YBN should have recouped by now, Dapper should have recouped by now. So what of the other artists that YBN and Dapper signed? They spent a lot of money on, but they were not able to recoup anything. And that is loss. Loss that they would have put in another artist that would have made them a lot of money.
That's another angle.
So I don't think they are evil contracts. I don't think they are unfair contracts.
So you talked about that artists should be more interested in how
the exposure,
how they are planning to break you out. You said something like that.
Yes,
that should be what they should be more interested in. So let's talk about that.
Because now recently I watched one interview with Ricardo Banks where he said he felt like he left bathing too early, because now he kind of has regrets and all that. And I also know of a very popular artist that actually renewed his recording deal with his record label. I don't want to mention their name. They renewed their recording deal because they got a lot of exposure from that record label. I'm like, why would I go? Because I feel like if they had gone on their own, maybe the hype will have died down. So record labels have the resources, they have the money, they have the industry contacts, they have the international exposure to make you that star. But artists are focused on that money. When will I start getting my royalties back?
I swear.
Why not focus on that exposure first? So you see so many, also this artist too that came to call out his record label on, the former record label on Twitter. Now it's not as popping as it was when it was with his record label.
So what we are understanding is, if you're being presented with a deal, what I should be focused on if I were to be an artist is, how are these guys planning to break me out?
Exactly.
Okay.
Not so much on the money.
Because you'll be disappointed.
Some people, they will sign them. They're asking for apartment as a Ikoyi. They're asking for latest Mercedes Benz and all that to show that they have arrived. Yes, I know you flex, but they're the ones that will still come back online to say their record label cheated them because the contract that expired. Of course, you that you were balling when you were in the contract, you were not saving a lot of money. You are not making that much money and all that. They collect the car back. They collected the house back. Then you come back on Twitter to accuse of record label of seeing you unfairly.
The worst thing that can happen to somebody is to test money and come back to the trenches.
So that's why I said focus on the exposure. Make sure you are very deep into your artist development bag. Like if I stand on my own, will I be able to make sure that I'm as big as I was when I was with this record label? So like so many of these artists that were with big labels and left, they are regretting now because they didn't have the exposure, they didn't have the connects, they didn't have that international exposure, they didn't have that.
They were just focused on the label is cheating on me.
They're not giving my royalties. See the old Charlie Poppy and Dapper issue now that he said, that they've not been remitting royalties, or they didn't give him access to the account statements. So I'm very sure people around him were the ones saying that, Dapper is.
But don't you think he's doing better now?
I'm not saying he's not doing better now. Charlie Poppy is one of the few exceptions.
Okay.
But if you, as an artist, you are coming out to say, or like maybe a smaller artist, you're coming out to say your record label, Dapper is not a record label though. they are cheating you, or they are not focused on the exposure. It might not be as lucky as Charlie Poppy and everything. You understand? Because I feel like these artists, they allow too much outside noise. So that's
Yeah.
why I said once again, people infantilize artists too much. Because maybe the record label might actually not be cheating the artists. They are doing so much work, so much underground work, putting so much money in these
And these
artists.
guys are wearing designers
Yes, now.
straight from the company.
Yes, they're always doing things to make people
Bro.
talk about them. So you see people like Whiskey now, they focus on that exposure. I saw one video of Whiskey when he was on stage, he was really dancing and all of that. Did he ever come out to call out TME that they didn't give him his royalties or anything? He never did. Immediately he left. He focused on himself, and he's one of the few exceptions that left their record label, and they are even doing better than when they were in their former record label.
Nice.
So as much as you are saying, oh, they didn't give me their royalties, once again, I always tell artists, that royalties they are looking for, you might not get it in 20 years, you might not get it in 30 years.
Yeah.
So forget that money now. Focus on that exposure. Focus on getting as much industry connect as you can. So when you stand on your own.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. So I want to, although this is not really your line, but I want us to talk about it. Why do record labels or labels, why do they avoid super talented people? I'm sorry, hold on. I'm coming.
Okay.
I noticed the pattern,
Mm-hmm.
especially with upcoming record labels. You know, as we have upcoming artists, we also have upcoming record labels.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that they pay more attention to people they can exploit than people who are talented. Even with some of the major labels, sometimes I see a rollout and I'm like, this person, na lie. I feel pick up person now way past this person. Why him? Or why her?
The question you should be asking yourself is,
So no, I'm coming to the question.
okay,
The question is the Nigerian music industry, does it feed off exploitation, or are they more interested in talent hunting? Because to be honest, I'm not really. I know there are lots of. Afrobeats is something that just began to go global. But in the next 20 years, with the way things are going, do you think that the quality of music is still going to be the same? Because of what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've been in situations where you have the money, but you're sentimental because, oh, you can tell this artist go and he will go. But this guy is obviously more talented, but you can't really control him because he's confident, of what he has, right? So why? Because you talked about this is a business. If this is a business, shouldn't I, as the record label, go for the most talented people? You understand? Talented people are not easy to control. Like me, I like to think of myself as a talented person. I'm not really easy to control. Even you as a person, if you work on yourself, put in the work, it's not easy. If they flash money for your face, you won't be easily moved, right? Because you know what you have. So that's my question. Is this industry based on exploitation, or you think, yeah, because you've worked with a lot of record labels, you see this day to day. So yeah.
Well, the question, okay, you asked a question that, that why won't record labels go to the big artists or sign super
I'm not saying signing super. I'm talking about talented
talented?
guys,
Well,
underground artists. They prefer to sign someone who is not as talented, but you know can be manipulated. Let's put it like that. Someone that is easily controlled.
okay, so
That's exploitation.
everybody has so much to say about Burna Boy, but was Burna Boy not signed to Aristocrats and he finished his term?
That's
Was there any issue? And he's
it's,
super talented.
but you see that he's not even easy to control. That's what I'm saying. In the next 20 years, right? I said something. The quality we have now is standard, but if you see, it's as if that Afrobeat is watered down. I feel like there are more underground super talented people than the people. If that also leads to farming. You see a lot of these guys try to buy streams
Mm-hmm.
because we are not really resonating with their music that much. We've seen a lot of people like complain about it. Like Black Bones is always complaining about it. Magix
Mm.
is also complaining about farm streams or
Stream farming.
yeah, stream farming and stuff like that. So my question is, why?
Um, you see, you know what? I always say something that,
Hmm.
oh,
Oh, do you
don't
agree
trust.
with me?
I won't say I agree with you
Okay.
because, again, we are lawyers. We see so many things behind the scenes and all of that. And
Okay.
I always say something, don't trust the humility of someone who wants to, like, also who needs money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't trust the humility.
Of a
So
poor
when
man.
someone does not have money and is looking for helpers, people to help him,
Yeah.
he's very humble. He's very humble.
Mm.
He doesn't mind if he's being exploited as long as the money is coming.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't mind anything being thrown at him.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be that the other person is treating him anyhow, but they
Mm.
are just after his growth
Mm.
and they are just trying to do all they can to get return on their investments.
Mm-hmm.
But when the money comes, they see how much they are making. So like I think that was what happened in the Charlie Poppy and that
Mm.
part side. So like maybe Charlie Poppy saw all the money
Mm-hmm.
he was making from streaming alone,
Mm-hmm.
and he felt like, oh, that I'm making this amount of money. How come I'm not getting royalties? And
Mm.
people were telling him things. I'm just assuming. I'm just
Mm.
assuming. No,
Mm.
people were telling him things that you're supposed to be getting money.
Mm.
But meanwhile, for streaming, the way streaming is like, so they are different. The amounts being paid for each stream is different from each territory. So maybe in the US they can pay $1 per stream.
Mm-hmm.
Someone streaming in Nigeria, someone streaming your music in Nigeria, they can be paying you like maybe 0.09 cents.
But
So like
mm-hmm.
this kind of person now, so this artist now, when he was just breaking up, he was very humble, he was listening. No, hold on, hold on.
You're
No,
not
no, I
getting me.
understand. The artist is talented. Wait, the artist is talented,
Mm-hmm.
but he was very humble and
Mm-mm.
everything. And you don't understand. You can't know the true nature of a person
You-
when they are coming up.
I feel like you're not understanding my question.
Okay.
I will rephrase.
See, you can't know if someone is not controllable if they don't have the means to show they are not controllable.
You've not understood me.
Okay.
Let me come again.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why do record labels choose to sign people that they can control more instead of signing people who are super talented? That's what I'm saying. Because I've seen a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Three guys are signed to a label. The guy who the label is more focused on
Mm-hmm.
as a producer, it's not like I'm saying he's not talented. I'm seeing somebody who is more talented than the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy that the record label is investing in is more controllable
Mm-hmm.
because I've done camps
Mm-hmm.
with the three of them. Yeah, we've been on recording camps. I know how this guy can compose, how this guy there are situations where there are artists they record themselves. They do everything. They try to be better. But there's this other guy who is just right? But the record label keeps on investing on this guy, abandoning this is so obvious that this guy is more talented. But because they can control this other guy, they don't sign, they don't invest, right? On this guy that they can't control, but he's more talented. So my question is, I know it's not on your line, but I
Mm-hmm.
want us to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do labels choose to invest more on people that they can control rather than on talent, especially now in this music industry scene? That's what I'm asking. Do you think that this industry is, exploiting people, or is it an industry that is, talent oriented?
So for your question,
Mm-hmm.
so basically, I'll say record labels, people generally like to work with people that are easy to work with. Doesn't mean they can't control them or not. Because I feel like a record label, knows better than you, the artist. You understand? Your job
Mhm.
is to perform. But you cannot know more than an A&R. You cannot know more than the CEO of the record label. You cannot know more than the owner of the record label that has 20 years experience in the music industry. And the thing is about over talented people is that they feel like their way is the best way. You understand?
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes exactly my point.
Some of these record labels,
Mhm.
they don't know shit
So you
about
know what?
music.
You only know about the music, but do you know about the business side of music?
To be honest, right? I'm gonna tell you that some of these record label heads, some of them have made so much money from another business, and someone advised them, look,
To
this
just
music thing is going on.
yeah, I know that.
So some of them don't know shit
Yeah, I
about
understand, but they
music.
will employ people that know about the music business. That's what people don't understand.
Okay.
So
So
the lawyer would know about the music business. The lawyer would tell them to get an E&R or do
so
recording
so why
capture.
wouldn't they work with someone who is obviously more talented?
Because sometimes the person that is more talented feel like they know the best way to break themselves out. But you cannot know more than the music. You cannot know more than the person who understands the business side of the music. So it might not, there might be control, though. There might be
Mm,
control.
mm,
They might be okay, super talented, they don't want to work with him. But that super talented might not be humble enough to learn. He might be
okay.
looking at things from his own perspective that okay, I'm talented. So because I'm talented, this is how it's supposed to be. But music is
Mm-hmm.
different from the music business.
Okay.
So the record label can say, let's do it this way because we understand the music business better than you do. This would help you. But you are saying no because you are talented.
Mm-hmm.
You know better than someone in the music business. Yes, there might be situations whereby it can be exploitative
Mm-hmm.
because oh, this person is but then again, they are protecting their interest too. They are
Okay.
spending a lot of money on the artists. So
Hmm.
they are looking for every way to make sure they are safeguarding their
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
investments.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
understand?
yeah.
So if the super talented person is always arguing,
Mm-hmm.
always saying that their way is the best
Mm-hmm.
way, if they don't want to do it that way, they should get out, this one, that one. It's human nature. They will naturally gravitate towards someone that is ready to learn and
Okay.
ready to go their way to make sure that they are safeguarding their investments.
Okay. So
So, for example,
okay.
now the super talented person is saying that oh, that he wants to do only TikTok marketing because that's where TikTok is.
But sometimes, to be honest, yeah, they don't really. From the cases I've been with, they are not really forward with their opinions. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they are talented. Yeah, but they just wait for these record labels to notice them, and it just seems like they can't really notice them. Recently, yeah, um, you cleared the records for venues,
Mm-hmm.
super popular
Mm-hmm.
record. So I would like to know, like, how was like, what's the process like,
Yeah, so basically, I represented one of the producers on the record.
on the
He's
record?
signed to the publishing company I work at, Plug Publishing.
Oh, for real?
So yeah, I had to be called on because
Mm-hmm.
apart from being a publisher, I'm also a legal person. So the master's copyright was not like governed by the Nigerian copyright laws because the faceless company LVRN, if I'm correct, they are based in the UK and US.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so it has to be a matter of copyright laws
In
in
UK?
UK, US, and of
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria. But the composition
Mm-hmm.
was governed. The composition, my artist beats,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, the producer's beats
Mm-hmm.
was governed by the Nigerian copyright laws
Mm-hmm.
because the Nigerian copyright law says that for your copyright to be protected under the Nigerian Copyright Act,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be a Nigerian citizen
Okay.
and everything. One of the contributors and one of the authors has to be a Nigerian citizen. The song has to be made in
In
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
So many other.
So was the song made in
Yeah, it
Nigeria?
was. I'm sure now it was
Okay,
made in
so
Nigeria.
is this record, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you represented the producer.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
So is this part of the record where you were talking about, the C finish?
No, no, it wasn't part of it. It wasn't part
Okay,
of it.
okay,
Yeah, it
okay.
wasn't
So
part
they
of
were
it.
cool.
Yeah, everything was cool.
Okay.
Everything was chilled. We had an understanding and all that. Everything was cool and chilled. Yeah, so basically,
Mhm.
so like I always say, there are two music copyrights. There is a masters and there is
Mhm.
a composition. And that's where so many lawyers also get it wrong too. Like, especially when you're just a lawyer that is not really experienced in
Experienced,
the
yeah.
music, they don't understand that there are two music copyrights and you have to treat the two music rights
Different.
separately. So
Okay.
now, like I said, in the Venus situation,
Mhm.
the master's copyright was governed under the UK and US copyright laws,
Okay.
while the composition, because the beat was made in Nigeria,
Okay.
the person who made it is a Nigerian citizen. So this composition like qualifies for copyright protection under the Nigerian Copyright Act. But because the person that owns the masters are
Mhm.
paid for the masters, the UK company LVRN,
Mhm.
they are based in the UK and I don't even think they have a Nigerian office.
Mhm.
So the masters will be governed by the UK and US copyright laws. So someone that is not really like educated, that
Mhm.
is not really experienced in copyrights would not understand how this goes because there were so many back and forth on
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
agreement too and all of that
Mhm.
and all that and all that. I need to also understand that as a music lawyer, when you're negotiating on behalf of your producer,
Mhm.
you should know that you're only transferring the master's rights.
Mhm.
You are not transferring the composition rights in the record to the artist.
Oh.
You understand?
So the
So
producer
because
is
even the
written. Okay.
argument will say that the producer owns his own share of his composition.
Which is how many percent?
No, like it depends on the percent. And again, ownership of composition is different from income share from the composition.
This is, I'm not too intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So break it down.
Yeah, so like they're
Ownership
just
of
saying
what?
of his composition, his publishing.
Is
So they're
the
just saying that he
is
owns his
different
beat.
from income of
Yeah, how
what?
much he's getting, income share, how much he's getting from his publishing. So it can be co-authors with other co-composers on the record,
Okay.
but they will still have to like discuss income share. So you can see situations whereby they say one person will get 70%,
Mm-hmm.
then other people will share 30%.
Okay.
According to the law, they are all co-authors
Mm-hmm.
of that composition,
Yeah.
but the income share is different. You understand? The income share is different. So they both own the composition together,
Mm-hmm.
but one can be taking 70%, the other will take 20%,
Mm-hmm.
and that one will take 5%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how it is. So there are two different things.
Wow.
So if there is no split sheet or any agreement saying that this is what each person is getting from the composition, the law says they will share it equally.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the split sheet you're talking about, is it before the record was released or?
Anytime it's done, it's not a problem. So
Okay.
until the split sheet is done, the law says they share it equally. So that's why when sometimes some producers come and meet me that that they did one record, they're not getting publishing, they don't have split. I said, why are you bothering yourself? Register on PRS, register with a PRS, register with Centric. When they ask for share, put 50%. Because the law recognizes that without a proper agreement, you own the copyright equally. So just put 50% as your own share.
You talked about Centric.
Yeah, it's a mechanical rights. No, sorry, it's a publishing company.
Okay.
Online publishing administrator for mechanical
So
royalties.
so how do guys get into Centric? They
They
just
should pay
register.
me for it. That's services I offer.
Wow.
So they should pay me for it. I'm not giving
Why are
out
you
free.
like this?
Why am I not?
So
They should
so
pay
this
me
is
for it.
different from BMI as
Yeah,
a scalp.
BMI,
So
yes.
this Centric is more
For
effective.
no, it's not a matter of more. They administer different kind of publishing royalties. BMI PRS, they administer performance royalties.
Okay.
Centric administers mechanical royalties. So
So
that's
so
it.
so what covers these mechanical royalties?
Or covers like maybe when your composition is downloaded, uploaded, streamed, and all that. That's mechanical rights.
There's something that I see. Oh, Whiskey releases a song, and in the first week they'll say it sold 100,000 copies.
And
So
that's what
that money now, is it under?
streaming is under streaming. Then okay, so now let me explain this.
Mm-hmm.
So music royalties, let's assume that the whole money in a music record will make is 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's just say how much 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say in the first year, a music record makes like maybe 100,000 naira.
Mm-hmm.
So like 80 to 75% of that 100,000 will come from streaming, and the remaining 20 to 25 will come from publishing.
Okay.
So 80% income of that music record will come from the streaming part.
So the sales, is it under what?
The sales of
Is
that records is
mm-hmm.
under streaming and masters and publishing. So 80% of the records made would go from the master. So the artist will own it. Artist or maybe the label will own the 80% of the records made. The remaining 20% will come from publishing, music publishing
Do you
companies.
know I used to think that the sales,
Mm.
just like selling of CD those
And
days.
all this, yes, now
I don't know
there
which.
is digital sales and distribution. There's also physical distribution.
So the digital sales is what I'm asking
And
about. It's under masters
well,
or this digital sales.
mm,
Because
mm,
on Apple you can buy an album for
exactly.
one
So
nine
there are two
ninety nine
types
or
of
something.
distribution. There is physical distribution. There is digital
We are talking about
distribution.
the digital one.
Mm-hmm.
So if I buy an album
Mm-hmm.
for maybe 9.99, that money, where is it entering? Into on the label side, is it entering as mechanical royalties or um master royalties?
So 75% of that 99.9 that you bought that record for
Mm-hmm.
will go to the artist record label as streaming, masters royalties. And
Oh,
25% will go into publishing.
nice. So is it the standard?
Yes, and that's the standard all over.
I mean, I just feel like, even for our listeners out there, we really need to know this because even just by
So
talking with you, yeah.
that's why sometimes you hear that an artist is making so much money from streaming.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really bother about the publishing because the
Okay.
publishing just makes just small money.
Mm,
And that's why once again I talked about see finish with producers.
mm,
You don't want to collect advance from
mm.
your masters. You don't want to collect, you are giving out bits for free for 12.5%
So
of the
so you
total
guys have
song.
heard it. I'm not giving out any bits of. I'm sorry. I
So you're
didn't
only
say
getting
this.
12.5
Mm.
from the whole total income. At the end of the day, it's the artist that is making more money. You are giving out your bits for free. And you're getting just probably
Okay,
12.5% from
okay.
the
So
total income.
okay. So in conclusion, right? Because I feel like I should even invite you again for you to throw. There are some things I've not really understood that you talked about, but we don't have enough time. So, but I wanted to ask, um, what law would you change if you had the authority to change, like in the Nigerian entertainment law stuff? What law would you like to introduce or change that, now as a lawyer, you're looking at it and you're like, this doesn't really make sense. I wish, it were different or something like that. So is there any law currently in Nigeria, and also, do we need to have more additions to the law? Because from what you're saying, I feel like our law, uh, you know in relation to the entertainment industry is kind of limited
No, I
against
don't think so.
against
Because
US,
Nigerian
UK.
Copyright Act, they import their laws from other jurisdictions. So I
So
don't really think
okay,
it's probably just the enforcement that is a
the
problem.
enforcement.
But the
Okay,
Copyright Act is pretty much standard.
okay. So back to my question. So is there any law you would like to change or you would like to introduce? You know.
I think the law I would like to introduce is maybe like more income for composers, that's songwriters and producers, because as at now it feels like artists are making the bulk
God
of
bless you.
money from
I don't know
good
if I'll start
songs.
paying my tithe to you.
So I feel like artists are making the bulk of the money
Mm-hmm.
from all these songs, and the composers are not making so much, are not being recognized. So I feel like more income for the composers is
Everybody's
one
talking
share.
about Sky B. What about the producer who made the hit? Who knows? Maybe hunger has killed
So
him.
that's why
If
again.
hunger almost killed this guy, talk about the producer.
So these are the things I'm saying when I say producers are doing my guy politics. That oh, is my guy. Just give me the beats. Don't
Um,
collect any money
you
because you don't know
understand?
that the
Okay,
artist
who
is
do?
making a lot of money and you are
I
barely
beg
making
you,
it.
look for the producer of Mom
So
Baby. And I feel up by you.
So if the producer of that Sky B is my
Mm,
baby now, if he has not set up his publishing,
bro.
the money is going. And this is the thing about publishing.
Mm,
You have to set it up on time. You have to register the songs on time because it doesn't even stop at setting it up.
mhm.
You have to register your publishing on. You have to register your songs to claim your publishing because there's something called black box royalties. If you
What?
don't register those songs,
Okay, it will
all
be
your royalties will be going into that black box.
okay.
Black box. It's just wait there. Then after 2 to 3 years, if you don't claim it, they will share that royalties to other composers, other top composers.
So are you trying to tell me that
If he has not
Thames is
registered,
getting my black boss?
huh?
Part of my money
If you don't
is
claim it
what
on time, to
Thames
go
is
to other
using to
people,
buy something in US.
you know.
I, that
So that's
that
why
doesn't make
when I
sense
tell
to me.
artists set up your publishing, producer set up your publishing, they feel
Hmm.
like, oh, they are not serious about it. They'll now come back 6 years later that, oh, they've not made any money.
I mean, this is an eye opener, even for me as a
So
producer.
imagine
Mm.
you not collecting producer fees, you're not collecting, you're doing my guy, you gave
And,
out your beat for
okay.
free. Even as that, then you didn't even sign split sheet. When they gave you split sheet, they gave you 10% or 20% for the beat you did. Upon everything again, you did not set up your publishing. So you're even losing on so many
Mm,
sides.
that's
So that's
crazy.
why I said, as a producer, you need to like have boundaries and give yourself add premium to your services. So you'll be able to like make money and feel well, take care of yourself because your beats, your songs, your work, they're like a legacy that even after you unalive your children. I know of one very popular producer that is late
Mm-hmm.
and he's still getting
Queen,
publishing
Quincy
royalties and
Jones,
his money is being paid to
his
his
children.
family, his
Mm,
children. So it's like a legacy. So you have to
yeah.
protect it.
Mm,
You understand? If they don't give you space, go on your and put 50%, especially if you are the only producer
mm-hmm.
on that song and be getting your royalties because there are some artists that will go and put 100% rather than put their own 50% share and they are collecting all your royalties. They won't add you as a contributor. There are so many people that we've set up publishing for unknown to us. There's another person that already started their publishing, already collecting their money for
Wow.
years.
Mm.
And that's because they were knowledgeable about that publishing on time.
Especially with the guys that make music, live band music. I think because people don't even think of them as like everybody is more interested in digital
Mm,
music, but I feel
live
like there's
performances.
a lot of publishing money that is left for these live band guys because like you understand what I'm
Mm,
saying.
yeah,
So
for the live band,
mm-hmm,
is it that are they because another thing about the copyright laws is that for your copyright to be protected, it has
mm-hmm.
to be put fixated in a medium of expression that can be reproduced, shared, and
A
also
lot of
used.
live band songs
Live band,
are on
they are just
streaming
performing,
platforms.
but the person that's recorded it,
Mm,
were they the one recording and put it out as their own work, or someone else recorded
mm,
and put it as their own work? That's the thing. So if someone else records your performance and
mm.
puts it on YouTube and they are making money, you don't know about it. They are
Mm.
making money from your
Yeah,
performance
exactly
rights.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
the
So
live
even if you
band
are doing
guys,
live
yeah.
performances,
Hmm.
you can always set up
Yeah,
your
publishing.
not that
And
set up your publishing. You can always try and make provisions to do recordings of your performances
okay.
and put it on your YouTube, put it on Spotify, put it on anywhere
Yeah.
and monetize it. Yeah, set up your publishing and all that. You are getting streaming royalties and publishing royalties too. So
Okay, I know you have like a school, you talked about it at the beginning,
training.
a training, and you're encouraging like young law graduates
Mm-hmm.
to dive into
Mm-hmm.
this untapped
Mm-hmm.
territory.
Yeah.
So tell us more about that training, because a lot of people also, right? Can someone who is not a lawyer also take that training? Because I feel like I even need to know these things. Some of the because some of the words you're using, they are big. I still need to learn. So what about an artist that really wants to understand, not really like to represent himself, but to understand the like basic things about this? And so are they also admitted, or is it strictly for law graduates, or how is the training like? Tell us about the
Yeah, so
training.
basically training is about the legal side of music business,
Okay.
not just music business generally.
Mm.
So there are lots of drafting of agreement. There are a lot of solving case studies,
Oh.
individual tax,
Okay.
group tax, and all of that. And
Okay.
someone who is not into law might not understand what is going on.
Okay.
But even you as an artist or a producer, if you want to learn about the music business, there are so many books online. I know I have this book by Donald Passman. There's also this book by Amy. I've forgotten her name, but I read a lot about the music business and all of that. So there are so many books you can get on. And what's her name? And I've forgotten her name again. There are so many books you can read on the music business to just educate yourself and all that. And this also for artists that leave their record labels and decide to set up their own company and stay independent. Please read up about the music business so you don't make so many, because they feel like, oh, like they actually feel like, oh, it's very easy to run a company or very easy to run a record label on your own until
Mm-hmm.
they get there and nobody hears about them again. You understand?
Mm.
So
Okay. Okay. So what I'm getting here is for the young graduates, you have something for them. So is there a price tag? Because I'm sure that people would
yeah,
like to check you out after this. So tell us
yeah.
how much you're charging.
Yeah, so it's a 7 weeks training program.
Okay.
It's holding virtually on WhatsApp, on Telegram. So notes to be shared with you, voice notes to be shared with
Mm-hmm.
you, tax and all of that.
So is there a one-on-one?
No, I don't think one-on-one would be as good as being like a group, because
Okay. Okay.
the class is divided into group where
Okay.
you
Okay.
talk with your group
Yeah. Yeah.
members, you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
draft, you
Okay.
guys
Okay. Okay.
do this and that and that.
That's
So
nice.
I'll prefer is a group
Mm.
than a
A
one-on-one
one-on-one
individual,
mentor.
because
Okay.
when you rub minds with your colleagues,
Mm-hmm.
you know better than
Mm-hmm.
when you are doing it on your own. So it's 30,500 naira for
Okay.
7 weeks. It's also on WhatsApp and
Very
Telegram.
affordable.
Yeah, very affordable for 7 weeks.
Mm.
So yeah, that's about that.
So can you tell us your Instagram handles? Do you have
So
any final words? You know.
yeah, my final word is that as an artist, as a
Mm-hmm.
producer, you need to get involved in your music business, because we've had a long talk about fair and unfair contracts, if
Mm-hmm.
record labels are evil,
Mm-hmm.
if they are exploitative.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this is from a place of ignorance, even among lawyers and all of that is from a place of, because everybody is focused on the top artists that were
Mm-hmm.
signed and they broke out, they made so much money, but
Mm-hmm.
nobody is also focusing on the losses that the record labels would have incurred from signing those artists that didn't pick up,
Mm-hmm.
and the money that went down the drain. So,
Yeah.
like I always say, please, artists, always remove emotions from the music business. When you are signing a record label deal, know that you are going in there for the exposure,
Yeah.
for them to develop it, for them to spend. Because if someone is spending so much money on you, why are you bothered about them putting the advance in your account? Why are you bothered about them giving you royalties? They got apartment for you. They got you a free car, free apartment.
Mm-hmm.
They pay for your studio sessions.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
get,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you are going for shows, they provide logistic for
With
you. They
security,
are giving you so much.
girls,
They are taking you on flights.
sweet girls,
They are doing visa for you. They are doing international passport for you. They are taking you
sweet girls
abroad.
are running after you.
They are taking you abroad for recording camps. They are doing so much for you. So
Oh
why are
my
you
god.
bothered? Like, why are you bothered about them not paying you, or about them not letting you see your back end? Just make sure you get as much as you want from the money they are pumping into you. Stay there for the exposure, stay there for the artist development. See, I understand now. If she was focused on the money, on getting royalties, we should be signed to Def Jam now.
That's right.
She was more about the exposure. And in how many months she broke out like very fast. Like I
I
think
mean,
she
I
was
mean,
the shortest, one of the
yeah.
people
I mean,
that
I
broke
mean,
out, and it stayed
mm-hmm,
relevant. You know, some people they break out on time, but
mm-hmm,
they are just one hit wonder. We don't
mm,
hear about them again.
mm,
But she has been very consistent.
yeah,
Every song she releases is a hit, like a global hit. You know that these people they are for the exposure.
mm-hmm,
You understand? And again, that's the point about where you're saying that how come super talented people are not controllable or
mm-hmm.
whatever. So Yasa is super talented,
Yeah,
but
she's
she was
an
still with Maven.
exception.
We've never seen like any, maybe she coming out to call out Maven.
Mm,
And when our contract ended with Maven, they did like, I don't know if it was a JV or whatever
mm,
with Def Jam. She's still with Maven, but also with Def Jam, because she understands why she needs to still remain or still maintain that Maven tag. And that's the thing about artists that leave their record labels in Nigeria
Mm.
and then sign to an international record label, because international record labels might not understand how Afrobeat works
I
more
swear.
than Nigerian labels. So that's another issue.
There's a popular guy I used to like. I don't want to call names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he left and signed with this
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right? That was it.
That was exactly.
And people, you first thought would be, oh, this is an elevation in his career, right? But it turns out that it
Because
wasn't.
you're based in Nigeria, you don't
Mm-hmm.
have visa,
Mm.
visa issues. Even if they call you for recording camp, you can't go for the recording camp because visa
Mm-hmm.
issues and all of that. At least here in Nigeria, we know who we can talk to. We know how to do it to like make you get your visas and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't understand this
They
market
don't
as
know
much as
it.
the record labels in Nigeria. So
Mm.
that's why so many of them leave their Nigerian record label with fights, thinking that
Mm.
their record label was cheating them
Mm.
or was exploiting them, was collecting money from them, not paying them royalties.
Mm.
They sign to international record labels that don't understand what Afrobeat is, knowing the right producer for you, knowing
Mm.
all these things, and everything just goes, everything just it just ends. Okay, like for example now Maven now they have like I think private jets or this kind
Mm-hmm.
of logistics, like
I
all this
swear.
exhibition, they are really big on, they know the Afrobeat
They
business
know it.
and you understand. But so it should be very hard for you as an artist to say, okay, my contract has ended with Maven, and just go like that, because you might not be able to get that access and that privilege you were getting when you were with Maven.
Mhm.
You understand? You might not be able to get the access and privilege again. So that's why they'll be like, okay, rather than just leave and do it. So Ayasa like actually did a very smart thing, still being with Maven and also with Def Jam. So even if Def Jam is going to like work on breaking that out as an international pop star like
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna, Maven will still be there to
To keep her
to
grounded
keep her
in.
grounded
Mm-hmm.
with the Afrobeat and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. You understand? So there has to be like an equilibrium. So you keep saying that our record labels evil. See, I don't think they are evil contract or
I
fee on
don't. I
Okeke.
don't. I don't think
You have
to.
to make the best
Out
of
of,
it.
yeah.
You have to be. You won't tell me that I understand maybe they don't have their own issues or they
Mm-hmm.
don't fight or they don't agree on so many things, but they are still working together.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ayasa is she's I see Ayasa as someone that's being an international pop star is
Mm-hmm.
more important than whatever money she's getting
I
now,
swear.
and that is why she still remains at the top.
Yeah.
Ordinary Nigerian artists want it like this. You don't
They know
they
everything.
fight your record label.
Mm-hmm.
They will tell you to do something, you will say no. They already give you your record label issues. Want it, you think you have arrived. And that's how one is one that's happened now. We don't hear about you again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we are getting here is, for our listeners, it's not really about bragging about being independent. It's about knowing the music business. And if you're someone who is wise, you will know that you can't do it on your own. No matter what they preach outside there, that, oh, with independence, if you're your own, 100% of zero is zero.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way 100% of zero will even be point one, right? So it's important that you get a lawyer. That's very important, who knows this business, and you start creating songs to make sure that a record label, you know, catches,
Mm-hmm.
you catch the attention of a record label and you make the most out of it. Don't think that anybody's coming. It's because of the mentality of, oh, you want people to help you. Nobody's gonna help you in
You are
life.
getting their money back.
You understand? Nobody is helping you. If you think that advance is your own, from what we just learned in this episode, I even thought, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
And village people also think that, if na me wey dey sign 100 million, my pops is already calling me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Let's wash the money, right? So you need to let people understand that, look, it's not the way it is, and you need to educate yourself. Watch, educative podcasts like this, and yeah, you're on social media
Mm-hmm.
obviously, and you're doing a lot. So can you just for people who are interested in following you, I'm sure you have, sorry, a business number, or let's start with social media. So tell us your social media handles, where they can follow you, where they can send you DMs, and yeah.
Yeah, so my social media handle Instagram is Janet underscore Odunoye. JANET underscore ODUNOYE. And
Okay.
my LinkedIn is also Janet Odunoye. So you can
Okay.
find me on both platforms.
All right. You know who I am. New song Chris at New song Chris. Um, it's been a pleasure. I hope you learned one or two things from this episode. I learned a lot from this episode. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys.